Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Donnie here, and I'm back with another installment in my classic movie spotlight series. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about musicals. I kind of have a soft spot for musicals. There's a big nostalgia factor for me. When I was in high school, I used to perform in the musicals and plays, and I actually won the Best Actor award at my senior class day. I got a little plaque for it, which is stored in a box somewhere. I think it's in my attic, and I should look for it someday, but whatever. um, so I've always been a big fan. I like movie musicals. In one of my earlier videos, I talk about the 50s musical Guys and Dolls, and 50s and 60s had a great time for musicals, and a lot of really good ones that I enjoy on this time. And I'm gonna be talking about one later on, but I want to give some background. When I was 12 years old, I went to go see a high school production of Bye Bye Birdie. My sister was performing in it along with my future brother-in-law. They were high school sweethearts, and my brother-in-law actually played the title role of Conrad Birdie, and my sister played Sad Girl. She had her own big dance solo. And I watched it, I saw it, I fell in love with it, and was inspired. I wanted to go into a theater camp that summer, and when I got to high school, as I mentioned, I performed in the plays, and I it was largely attributed to going to see this play when I was 12. Um, after seeing this play, and I wound up one night watching the movie version of it. And I was surprised at how different it was when compared with the play. You kind of expect when something gets adapted into a film that there are going to be some differences between it. Books, certainly, there's a lot of differences between books and their film adaptations. But you would think that a play or musical would kind of more strictly adhere to the source material, like at least like a little closer. But I was surprised at how different the movie version was from the play, and I want to kind of explore that a little in this video and talk about some of the differences and a couple major ones actually. So. I'll give a little background. The film version is from 1963. It stars Dick Van Dyke, Janet Leigh, and Anne Margaret. It's loose. The story is loosely based off this the real life story of Elvis Presley when he was drafted into the army. And in this one, there was a big rock star named Conrad Birdie who is kind of an Elvis type. He's the most popular singer in America, and he also gets drafted into the army, and his fans go nuts. And they're sent into a tailspin, and his longtime songwriter, Albert Peterson, was played by Dick Van Dyke, and his girlfriend and secretary, Rosie, played by Janet Leigh, they come up with this plan to have Conrad appear on the Ed Sullivan Show before he goes into the army. He's going to perform on it, and he's going to kiss one of his randomly selected fan club members. And the selection they make is of Kim McAfee from the small town of Sweet Apple, Ohio, for it. And Albert winds up writing a song for Conrad to perform on the show called One Last Kiss. And Albert, Rosie, and Conrad wound up descending on this little town for the performance, and it kind of turns the town upside down, and everyone goes nuts, and there's all different storylines going on. So it's and it's pretty interesting. But a couple of the big differences. Well, there's first. Rosie's last name is changed for some reason. In the play version, it's Rosie Alvarez, but in the film, she's Rosie De Leon. Uh, another minor difference was, well, my sister's role actually gets eliminated in the film version. uh, and it's funny because in the play version, the sad girl is upset about Conrad going to the army, and Albert tries to cheer her up by singing the song uh, "Put on a Happy Face" and dances with her. Now that film, now that song is still included in the film, but he sings it to Rosie instead. Uh, those are just a couple of the minor differences, but there's a couple major ones. For one thing, in the play version, Albert is Conrad's agent, not his songwriter, and he want in both versions he wants to give up his this musical lifestyle and pursue his real passions, but they are different. In the play version, he wants to become an English teacher, and Rosie actually sings him a song, English teacher. Well, in the movie version, is a scientist and wants to become uh, a chemist again. And so obviously this song that she performs gets eliminated because it wouldn't make any sense in the narrative of the film. Uh, and he winds up uh, getting in getting involved with Kim's father, who's an amateur inventor, and he's come up with some formula concoction, and that and this winds up playing a bigger plot point later on in the film. But one thing that I noticed is in the film version is that the narrative structure is a lot different. Uh, the film version really builds up to his appearance on Ed Sullivan. And Ed Sullivan actually appears as himself in the film. In the play, you just hear his voice off screen introducing Conrad, but he actually does, playing himself in several scenes in the film. And it builds up for his performance in the final act. That, makes a lot of sense for it. But in the play version, his performance on Ed Sullivan is actually in the first act. It's the final scene before intermission. And with this narrative change, structure, it winds up changing a lot, the story and character motivation here. Uh, because throughout the film, uh, Kim's boyfriend Hugo is very jealous. He doesn't want her to kiss Conrad. And in the in the film, during Conrad's performance, Hugo rushes the stage and punches him in the face. Now he also does this in the play, but with it being at two separate parts in the story, really changes things. In the film version, Kim is flattered by this, that he kind of defends her, I guess. And they had been fighting previously, but this brings them back together. But in the play version, she's mad at him for embarrassing her and this, and they wound up, and the second act starts with them at odds and fighting, and so. And one thing, like, I think this kind of sends the wrong message with in the film, with her, being like, flattered by his actions, because this is behavior that isn't really appropriate. And I think, and the play version is more truthful. I think most people, like, if a woman is has her boyfriend like punch someone for her, I don't know, I'm not a woman, so I can't tell someone how they feel, but I think that could be a little problematic that, that for someone to be flattered by this. I think this isn't great behavior, so I think it's handled better in the play version. So it kind of really like changes the characters. Um, and in the play, the character Kim McAfee isn't as big as it is in the movie. I think the filmmakers wanted to showcase Anne Margaret. She was kind of a budding star, and one of they wanted to really show her talent, and and so they really kind of expand her role a little bit. Uh, so those are just some of the differences, and I just thought it was interesting how the the changes that were made here. Now, it does sound like I'm kind of like disparaging the film a little bit, but I do enjoy it. I do like it. I prefer the play version of it. But it is an enjoyable watch, and it's a fun little musical, and it has some great performances and great songs in it, and very catchy tunes, and so I recommend you see it. But if you have a chance to see the play version as well, you should definitely check it out. It's really great. So that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all the works. And until next time, take it easy.